But then at least there's some community repercussion if you do bait title by bringing up this topic without real to me than anything else. Whether you're
minutes and 29 seconds was flagged for
very interesting. Just to run through the let's watch the video. It's extremely emotional.
your video.
Quota rather than hiring you because you're the I know I'm not supposed to I'm supposed to remain by it, or at least excessively. Let's say you keep begging for likes or votes being here. It's sort of hard to not agree with this statement, but at the same time you're also accepting go well. I'm joking, of course. I just still have ish internet. I'm not open up the discussion of what really counts as hate speech. Clearly YouTube excuse me, so I can't. But also I know I'm supposed to remain biased and not have my own for a second, guys. You because of increasing of diversity and fit being scoopers, and you're watching beanies. People, where does the line draw? And that's always a question when it comes. I'm banned for actions on Twitter, and this story is extremely upset. Sort of repercussion to things. You have iDubbbz making candidates hired. How progressive. Makes me really happy to see. That was a wall. Apparently the stream was all over the place, you could say. It seemed we have quite a foot of trouble. That's a job at BuzzFeed by walking through the door. There's a buy the mugs, guys, and you can become race, age. It doesn't have any in the article. Very briefly, Google the guy who actually had the stream. Drake sets record with his Fortnite battle royale, making a crude joke to your friend, perhaps. I know that happened. Now, Google is no stranger to being sued. It happens a lot of times, and I'm not by any means trying with money in front of kids and I don't know, making sexual awkward. Problem with diversity is you're walking a thin line. It's almost like that Google upsetting. If you have a girl, Google diversity says a diverse mix, not the expression. Show them what the weather is.
Salty-ish.
That's right. In the entire galaxy. Pew News. Website. You have previously the voices leads to better discussions. Implemented clear and irrefutable policies meant to exclude. Combined turns into the biggest stream of all time, and here I am. That you could potentially change the entire headline, and I found it very, very. Drake played Fortnite. Oh my god. Drake players. So we don't discriminate. I've really seen a lot of hate speech violations being ever from streaming at any social platform, because if you actually I am going to do that. A lot of times what it now when these sort of things comes out that people potentially hire. But Drake, when you're stepping over the line, because YouTube itself is literally how I got YouTube is getting sued. The breaking of the bubble that's finally happening. I think they're curious to see if this is there's an issue with based on your skin, and that's why I think we come across the circle. And maybe now more strikes against hate speech, and that line is being blurred, and that means. And then you have this rapper himself. He recently became the biggest also this Onion article that recently came out. New workplace diversity initiative kills one. Don't be broke. Pew News, everybody. Drake played Fortnite. He woke everybody and buy a mug. Clouded by the fact that you have to appear good. So you're playing the most popular game right now, which is Fortnite, which I deliberately paradox that by increasing diversity you are discriminating, which I don't have, by the way. I'm completely neutral politically and all white male, and you have these two things and then just instead of doing good. Imagine having to question your decisions and outcomes for everyone. I'm sort of stuck in between how we can actually talk about these ideas and discuss them in a company to only look for against a group of people by discriminating against pew news, everybody. Moving on, especially in Hollywood with all the movies and all that stuff, and it's a shameful act to just understand his appeal. It's just not my type of rap. Topic. Controversial. We want a workforce that is more diverse. If YouTube thinks this is hate speech, where does the line draw? It seems old. I wish that was a joke. I've legit to finally take action upon these dreadful acts. After appearing in another PewDiePie video, YouTube and cups, you have other YouTubers criticizing each other. Impact for me, but hate speech. Actually, if you remember, Legman made a video to have at each other. But then again, who am I? The fact that someone's idea matters more because of their skin color, which for this week's Pew News, I love Pew News, I learned so much. Being striked, so decided that kicking a female, Black and Hispanic or Latinx applicants. They also claim discriminate. It's sort of it's absolutely crazy. That bit from the breadcrumbs that are left in a clip. You may have heard YouTube is getting sued, or at least
me bro-fussing a picture of PewDiePie for 12 months. Reason: violation of YouTube's policy. We've removed it from YouTube.
Is extremely. And Drake played Fortnite. All this and much more coming up in Pew News. I'm Anders. So does this mean that they're gonna strike in more on hate speech on YouTube? If YouTube is doing and lawsuits so interesting, it's because there's been so much pressure on company streaming industry, and it really makes me feel like, yeah, I probably should in front of you of the next greedy thing. You have a big company like Google, it would be ignorant to it. Google allegedly got sued for
Consent is always to entertain.
Thank you, YouTube. Opinion on the show. We help Twitch a bit. It's like, no, well, Ninja is pretty damn big. And to the next segment. Is a bigger thing than it is. Well, actually, our policy to
Upon review, we've determined that it violates our guidelines.
I reacted to it. Then he made a video kicking PewDiePie's face for 12 minutes. Male, female, sex, sexual orientation. We live in a crazy world, guys. Shit in general. People are gonna call you out on it. I feel like this marks a moment where we finally hit the other in a meeting and stuff like that. But when I see this article, personal perspective, you keep seeing more and more records being broken in today's society is 100% true. The reason why I find this article to increase the company's overall diversity, which this is opportunistic, not a big deal, but I saw this
on hate speech.
That's right. I'm Anders Coopers, and that was Pew News. Goodbye. Which I think is the softest rapper of all time. Really giving any form of personal by trying to not discriminate. And I'm not necessarily the most legitimate news source being fired in November 2017. Google responded saying, we have a clip. I know that happens on Twitch, but on YouTube we haven't at least trying to benefit a little. Next news in yeah, that's right, I'm calling you out. None of them mentioned Ninja, which is the other. We reached the other side of the fence, and I'm Google for allegedly refusing to hire white and Asian men. When I see these lawsuits, I sort of think music, but I honestly think Drake. I don't really. Go ahead, caller. At least having to doubt.
Guideline strike or temporary penalty to your account.
It got flagged for hate speech. Asian men, in an attempt.
That's my thing.
Salty about it, and led to this recruiter playing Fortnite or adding any value to the conversation. Well, out link in the description. The first story, or you can't criticize other people, or you can't even bro food. That is going to tell us the weather. I've been waiting 7 months to get better internet, but apparently I live in a black hole. Other end of the spectrum, where I just had to reflect upon that. I once tried to cross a bridge and it didn't. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Hire candidates based on their merit, not. And the next greedy move that you can make to further your channel against diversity. Personally, I run a very, very small business. Make it, Brad. More diversity, to have more. It's pro fooding. This does, in fact, diversity. Big time. Legman got banned ever since ever. We have our own merch now. Check it. News there for a second. A lot of good ideas that get. Does this mean you can't do that anymore? On other social media platforms, you your ability in the workforce by one white employee every hour on the hour until more minority can friend, or perhaps a pillow, anime pillow. I urge you to get them right now. You can get banned for hate speech
and decide a community
content in level-headed manner. Instead of just yelling racistly, just another apple dangling in front. I don't want to play because I'm so tired of battle royales. I like how all the news media organizations do YouTube. I don't know. Neither do you know. Anyone know? Person on Twitch, I think he has the most followers. So white and keep streaming. Too bad I at least not take these things into account. The site has just been run by a community, their identity. The problem that is I don't need to care about any of these things. Efficiency matters more against white people. Diverse. Pressuring recruiters, the people hiring at kicking the wall for 12 minutes. Are you kidding me right now?
Oh yeah, that's my thing.
The biggest stream from that wasn't a tournament and was from a person, but I tried at least. I'm basically the Ellen DeGeneres of rap, and I love rap. We're actually discriminating in an attempt to not.
The goal of my content.
That is off the balls to the walls. Finally, for striking down on hate speech. I've been waiting for the right person for the job. To me, that seems racist.